Your doctor ran your blood work last month. You sat in that office and waited. The results came back. And somewhere on that sheet of paper it said magnesium, and next to it there was a number, and next to that number it said normal. You felt relieved. You moved on. But that test measured something that has almost nothing to do with how much magnesium is actually inside your cells, because only 1% of the magnesium in your entire body exists in your blood. 1%. The other 99% is locked inside your bones, your muscles, and your organs, doing work that your blood test will never see. Your doctor looked at 1% of the picture and told you everything was fine. And right now, tonight, while you try to fall asleep, while your heart skips a beat, while your legs cramp at 3 in the morning, the other 99% is screaming for a mineral that nobody told you was missing. I had a patient named Clarence Thompson, 71 years old, retired master electrician from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Clarence wired homes and commercial buildings for 38 years. His hands were the steadiest in the union. He could strip a wire inside a junction box in the dark by feel alone. When he came to see me, those same hands trembled when he tried to hold his coffee cup. He had not slept more than 4 hours a night in over 2 years. His blood pressure had been creeping upward for 18 months, and his doctor had added a second medication. His legs cramped so badly at night that his wife Carol had started sleeping in the guest room because he would jolt awake kicking. He told me, Dr. Hale, I have been to 3 doctors. They all tell me my blood work is normal. They all tell me this is just aging. I do not accept that. I am Dr. Margaret Hale, 28 years in integrative medicine and clinical nutrition. And today, I am going to tell you why 80% of adults over 60 are dangerously low in the single most important mineral your body uses, and why the standard blood test your doctor orders will almost never catch it. I am also going to tell you why the magnesium supplement sitting in your medicine cabinet right now is probably doing almost nothing for you, and which specific form of magnesium is the only one that has been clinically proven to cross into your brain. Here is what your doctor is not telling you about that blood test. When your doctor orders a standard magnesium test, it measures serum magnesium. That is the magnesium floating freely in your blood plasma. But your body is intelligent. It prioritizes keeping blood levels stable at all costs because your heart depends on it second by second. So even when your bones are depleted, even when your muscles are starving, even when your brain is running on empty, your body will pull magnesium from those tissues and dump it into the blood just to keep that serum number looking normal. Think of it this way. Imagine you own a house with a massive underground water tank. That tank feeds your kitchen, your bathroom, your garden. Now imagine someone comes to check your water supply and they only look at the kitchen faucet. They turn it on. Water comes out. They write down that your water supply is fine, but underground, the tank is almost empty. The pressure is dropping. In 2 weeks, nothing will come out of that faucet at all. That is what a serum magnesium test does. It checks the faucet while the tank runs dry. The test your doctor should be ordering is called an RBC magnesium test. Red blood cell magnesium. This measures the magnesium actually stored inside your cells where it does its work. It reflects what has been happening over the past 3 to 4 months, not just what is floating in your blood at that moment. Most doctors do not order it. Most labs do not run it automatically. And most patients have never heard of it. If someone you love is over 60 and has been told their magnesium is normal while they still cannot sleep, while their muscles still cramp, while their blood pressure keeps climbing, send them this video right now. That blood test may be hiding the one deficiency that explains everything. Now let me tell you what magnesium actually does inside your body. Because when you understand this, you will understand why being low in this one mineral can cause so many seemingly unrelated problems at the same time. Magnesium is required for more than 300 enzymatic reactions in your body. 300. It is not one function. It is not 10 functions. It is 300 separate biochemical processes that depend on this single mineral to work correctly. Think of an orchestra with 300 musicians. Magnesium is the conductor. When the conductor is present, every section plays in time. The strings, the brass, the percussion, the woodwinds all work together. When the conductor steps off the stage, the musicians are still there. The instruments are still there. But nothing is coordinated. The rhythm falls apart. One section plays too fast. Another section stops entirely. That is what happens inside your body when magnesium drops below what your cells need. Your heart rhythm becomes irregular because magnesium regulates the electrical signals that tell your heart when to contract. Your blood pressure rises because magnesium relaxes the smooth muscle in your blood vessel walls. When it is low, those vessels constrict and your pressure goes up. Your muscles cramp because magnesium controls the calcium channels that tell your muscles when to contract and when to release. Without enough magnesium, the contraction signal gets stuck. Your sleep collapses because magnesium activates your parasympathetic nervous system. That is the rest and digest system. Without it, your body stays in a state of low-level activation all night. You lie there exhausted, but your nervous system will not stand down. For those of you who want my complete protocol for rebuilding every system in your body from morning to night, including the exact magnesium protocol I use with my patients, I created the Cellular Reset. Everything is inside. Link in the pinned comment below this video. Now here is where it gets worse. Even if you already know you need magnesium, even if you went to the store and bought a bottle, the supplement you are taking is almost certainly the wrong form. The most common form of magnesium sold in pharmacies and grocery stores across the country is magnesium oxide. It is the cheapest to manufacture, and it is in the vast majority of over-the-counter magnesium supplements. The problem is that magnesium oxide has a bioavailability of roughly 4%. 4%. That means if you take a 500 milligram capsule of magnesium oxide, your body absorbs approximately 20 milligrams. The other 480 milligrams pass straight through your digestive tract and into the toilet. You are essentially mailing 100 letters, and only 4 of them arrive. 96 letters lost every single day. And you wonder why you still cannot sleep. You wonder why your legs still cramp. You wonder why nothing changed after months of taking your supplement. It is because the form you chose cannot get where it needs to go. There are better forms. Magnesium glycinate binds magnesium to the amino acid glycine. It has significantly higher absorption than oxide, and glycine itself has a calming effect on your nervous system, making this form excellent for sleep and anxiety. Magnesium citrate is well absorbed and supports digestive function. But if you are concerned about your brain, about your memory, about the fog that seems to settle over your thinking more and more as the years pass, there is only one form that clinical research has shown can actually cross the blood-brain barrier and increase magnesium levels inside your brain. That form is magnesium L-threonate. If you want to stop guessing about your health and start understanding what your body actually needs, subscribe to this channel. I release new research-backed content every other day, and next time I am going to show you the vitamin that 92% of seniors are taking wrong and the 3 mistakes that make it completely useless. Researchers at Tsinghua University in Beijing conducted a study on 109 healthy adults, ranging from age 18 to 65. The participants received a magnesium L-threonate-based formula, or a placebo. The results published in the journal Nutrients showed that magnesium L-threonate significantly improved memory quotient across all age groups. But here is the finding that matters most for anyone over 60. The older the participant, the greater the improvement. The benefits were not just present in older adults, they were amplified. The researchers found that magnesium L-threonate improved working memory processing speed and executive function, and that these improvements scaled with age. A separate, randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled trial published in Frontiers in Nutrition confirmed these findings. After just 6 weeks of supplementation, participants showed measurable improvement in overall cognition, working memory, and reaction time. They also showed improvement in subjective sleep quality. 6 weeks. Not 6 months, not a year. 6 weeks of the correct form of magnesium. There is also research specifically on magnesium and sleep in elderly patients. A double-blind, placebo-controlled clinical trial published in the Journal of Research in Medical Sciences studied 46 elderly subjects over 8 weeks. Half received 500 milligrams of magnesium daily. The other half received placebo. The magnesium group showed significant improvement in sleep time, sleep efficiency, and sleep onset latency. Their melatonin levels increased. Their cortisol levels decreased. A separate systematic review, pooling data from 3 randomized controlled trials in 151 older adults, found that magnesium supplementation reduced the time it takes to fall asleep by an average of 17 minutes compared to placebo. 17 minutes may not sound dramatic until you are the person lying in the dark at 2 in the morning, counting every one of them. And the reason L-threonate works differently from every other form is its molecular structure. The L-threonate molecule is transported across the blood-brain barrier through glucose transporters. These are the same channels your brain uses to pull in its primary fuel. Other forms of magnesium cannot use this pathway. They circulate in your blood. They reach your muscles. They reach your bones. But they stop at the gates of your brain. L-threonate has the key. It walks through the door that every other form stands outside of. Now let me tell you exactly what I recommend for my patients. This is the protocol I have refined over 15 years of clinical practice. Step 1. Ask your doctor to order an RBC magnesium test. Not serum magnesium, RBC magnesium. If your doctor does not know what that is, or tells you it is unnecessary, you need a different doctor. The optimal range for RBC magnesium is between 5 and 7 milligrams per deciliter. Most labs will flag anything below 4.2, but in my clinical experience, patients do not feel optimal until they are above 5.5. Write that number down. Step 2. Stop taking magnesium oxide immediately. Check the label on your current supplement. If it says magnesium oxide anywhere on the ingredients list, you are wasting your money and your time. Replace it today. Step 3. Take magnesium L-threonate for your brain. The clinically studied dose is 144 milligrams of elemental magnesium from L-threonate per day. Most supplements deliver this in a total of 2,000 milligrams of magnesium L-threonate, split into 2 or 3 doses. Take 1 dose in the morning and 2 doses in the evening, approximately 1 hour before bed. The evening dose supports both brain function and sleep onset. Step 4. Add magnesium glycinate for your muscles, heart, and nervous system. The dose I use with most of my patients is between 200 and 400 milligrams of elemental magnesium from glycinate per day. Take it with your evening meal. This addresses the cramping, the blood pressure, and the nervous system activation that keeps you awake. Step 5. Give your body 60 days. Magnesium does not rebuild overnight. Your bones, your muscles, and your brain have been depleted for years, possibly decades. Replenishment takes time. Most of my patients notice improved sleep within the first 2 weeks. Muscle cramps typically reduce by week 3 or 4. Cognitive improvements and blood pressure changes usually become measurable between week 6 and week 8. Be patient. Your cells are rebuilding. Now, let me tell you the 3 mistakes that keep people trapped in magnesium deficiency even when they think they are supplementing correctly. Mistake number 1: taking magnesium at the wrong time. Many people take their magnesium in the morning with breakfast, but magnesium competes with calcium for absorption. If your breakfast includes dairy, or if you take a calcium supplement in the morning, you are blocking a significant portion of your magnesium absorption. Take magnesium separately from calcium-rich foods and supplements. Evening is ideal for most people. Mistake number 2: taking too much at once and then quitting. Some people buy a high-dose magnesium supplement and take the full amount on day 1. Their digestive system reacts with loose stools and discomfort. They decide magnesium does not agree with them and they stop. But the problem was not the magnesium. It was the dose, and often the form. Start at half the recommended dose for the first week. Let your body adapt. Increase gradually. Glycinate and L-threonate are far gentler on your stomach than citrate or oxide. Mistake number 3: believing your multivitamin covers it. Most multivitamins contain between 25 and 50 milligrams of magnesium, usually oxide. The recommended daily intake for adults over 60 is 420 milligrams for men and 320 milligrams for women. Your multivitamin covers roughly 10% of what you need in a form your body barely absorbs. It is a rounding error, not a solution. Tell me in the comments what magnesium supplement you are currently taking, and tell me whether your doctor has ever ordered an RBC magnesium test. I read every single comment, and I want to know what you are experiencing. Let me tell you what happened with Clarence. The first thing I did was order an RBC magnesium test. His serum magnesium, the test his 3 previous doctors had all run, came back at 1.9 milligrams per deciliter, normal range. His RBC magnesium came back at 4.1, below the lab minimum, severely depleted. His blood had been showing normal while his cells were starving. I started him on magnesium L-threonate in the morning and evening, and magnesium glycinate with dinner. I told him to be patient. At 2 weeks, Carol called me. She said, "Dr. Hale, he slept 6 hours last night. 6 hours straight. That has not happened in over 2 years." At 4 weeks, the nighttime leg cramps had reduced from every night to once or twice a week. Clarence told me he could hold his coffee cup again without his hand shaking. At 6 weeks, I ordered new bloodwork. His RBC magnesium had risen to 5.3. His blood pressure had dropped enough that his doctor agreed to reduce one of his 2 medications. At 8 weeks, Clarence called me on a Saturday. He said, "Dr. Hale, I did something today I have not done in 3 years. I wired a ceiling fan for my daughter. My hands were steady, my head was clear. I felt like myself again." He paused, and then he said, "3 doctors told me this was just aging. You told me it was a missing mineral. You were right. That is what happens when the right test finds the right deficiency and the right form of magnesium reaches the right places in your body. It is not magic. It is not a miracle supplement. It is basic biochemistry that most doctors never learned in medical school because nutrition was never part of the curriculum. Magnesium is not optional for your body. It is not a bonus. It is required for 300 processes that keep you alive and functional every single day. And 80% of adults over 60 are not getting enough of it because the test says normal and the supplement says magnesium, and nobody told them that both of those things were lying. If this information changed how you think about the supplement in your medicine cabinet, please share this video with someone who needs to hear it. The person who cannot sleep. The person whose legs cramp every night. The person whose blood pressure keeps rising and nobody can explain why. And if you want the complete protocol for resetting every system in your body, the exact foods, the exact timing, and the exact supplements I use with my patients, it is all inside the Cellular Reset. Link in the pinned comment. Next time, I am going to show you the vitamin that 92% of adults over 60 are taking in a form their body cannot use. There are 3 specific mistakes that make it completely useless, and one simple change that makes it work. Most doctors do not know the difference. You will. Your body has been sending you signals: the cramps at night, the sleep that never comes, the fog that settles over your thinking by afternoon, the heart that skips when it should not. Those are not signs of aging. Those are signs of a mineral that has been missing for years while every blood test told you it was there. Now you know the truth. Now you know what test to ask for. Now you know which form actually works. The only question left is whether you will keep trusting a test that checks 1% of the picture, or whether you will finally find out what the other 99% has been trying to tell you. Dr. Margaret Hale.